Okay, guys, we have Kung Fu Master on the left, Boxer on the right. They are both 54, okay? This is one of the reasons I wanted to feature this. A lot of times when we bring on Kung Fu Masters, people claim there's a big age difference, but actually, they're usually about the same age. Just because of the conditioning, they look very different. And this is a perfect example of this. So the Kung Fu Master, who looks older, of course, does Mian Quan. So he's trying certain back fists, trying certain, maybe you could call them palm techniques with the gloves. But again, they're both 54. I want to emphasize that. This guy who's a 54-year-old boxer, he's an enthusiast, taking it very easy. But obviously, he knows how to parry, and he knows how to have his guard. Sometimes he flinches, right? But when in doubt, hands up, he has that. And when in doubt, when in doubt combos, he got him. Ouch. So this whole debate got set off when Shoutout fought Lele, the MMA panda versus the Tai Chi guy. I hope you guys know that Shoutout was 37, Lele was 40. They only had 3 years of difference. But for me, because I didn't know anything about what was going on, it looked like a young person beating an old person, right? But it wasn't. It was unfortunately associated with certain aspects of Chinese culture and some of these traditional systems. There's probably a lot of unhealthy practices on top of the lack of sparring and the cultishness and the lack of functionality, right? I can name some things that I suspect. Again, these are just things I suspect. For example, not going to the doctor when needed. That's a big part of a lot of traditional Chinese, I guess you could call it mysticism or distrust of Western medicine. Other things. So that's a good little hook to the body. Oh, the 54-year-old boxer stepping it up. He's almost doing certain kung fu parries. Nice. He even ducked a little. Man, they're actually doing a second round, guys. Look at that. The Kung Fu Master now has headgear. I think they realized that he's not really conditioned to take a punch. So, and also the 54-year-old boxer is dialing it up on the 54-year-old Kung Fu Master. So Kung Fu Master also seems to have more courage now, but he's attacking without defending. You see, he got lead hooked. Another lead hook. Getting jabbed. He's trying, straight from the hips that made his face all open. He's trying these like Kung Fu techniques. So let's replay that. Boom, just the lead hook. And I think he said no. He said he's okay. Yeah, he's like, it's okay. So at least he was a good sport about this, you see. By the way, I want to give a shout out to this account. Shout out this guy, by the way. He's like the Chinese version of me. He always critiques and commentates matches from all over the world. So we have a Taiwanese version of me, Chen Yufei. Now this guy is a Chinese version of me. Found him, man. I'll put how to find this guy on Douyin in the description. I hope he contacts me, man. Really cool. In fact, he actually talks about TFC also. It's pretty funny. See, this is him talking about TFC right here. So I was like, hey, he is legitimately the Chinese version of me, or I am the American version of him. So this is viewer Maarten, and I wanted to give him a shout out because as you can see here, he's actually trying to implement Kung Fu, and he has gloves, right? All those excuses that Kung Fu people give, he's trying to make it work. Now, I do unfortunately see some issues with his technique. I think there's too much wasted movement. But you know what? It's fine because he's actually trying to bring something that has all this mysticism, bring it into the real world. So I give Maarten a lot of credit for this, man. So this was him back when he was in China. If you compare the Maarten sparring with lack of sparring or hard sparring, I hope you can see that there's a middle ground. There's always a middle ground. You don't have to be getting brain damage every time you spar, but there is no excuse not to spar a little either if you're doing a martial art. If you want to do wushu, or if you want to do capoeira and you just want to dance, it's fine. But if you want to do a system claims it can throw down a little, you better spar a little bit. I don't know how much that first Mian Quan Kung Fu Master spars, and maybe the reason he wanted to test a boxer his age is because he probably does spar. Don't think how hard you spar, think how effective your sparring is. Do you respect the strike? Do you have a little bit of follow through, even if you're doing it soft? Do you try safely to test new combos, new techniques? Do you look at what you do wrong and try to correct it? Right? That's the point of sparring. It's not to give brain damage. It's also not to continue bad habits. I think probably what our Kung Fu master did was he probably spars, and there's a lot of Kung Fu on Kung Fu sparring, unfortunately, so it just perpetuates bad habits. That's why Maarten, when he moved to Spain, I encouraged him to go spar some Muay Thai. Even if your opponent is not compliant, if your styles are similar, there's a style compliance. That's a new phrase we just invented, style compliance. Okay, guys, hope you liked this little exploration. Leave a comment, press a like, and subscribe to both me and Maarten. If you want to go on Douyin, subscribe to the Chinese version of me over there. And if you want to be a channel member, support the channel a little more, I highly, highly encourage it. Okay, guys. Bye-bye.